Evening. It's good to be back. I want to thank everybody who's been subscribing to this channel and all the comments. I got trolls and everything, man. I think Georgia fans must have some kind of complex or something. They're just all about getting enjoyment out of me feeling bad. No, I don't feel bad. We got to go forward. We're the ball. But, I was just doing a little thinking, going back down memory lane. I made this years and years ago. And, the first college football game I ever went to was Oklahoma State at Iowa State, names. And Johnny Majors was coaching on the sidelines for Iowa State. And I'll never forget being so happy that Johnny ultimately took the Clones to 2 bowl games. They'd never been to a bowl game before. And so because of that, I always liked the Vols. That was years before I ever knew I'd live in Tennessee. And now I've been living here longer than I ever lived there. It just got me to thinking about this whole football problem we got going on up here. Back in 1992, Johnny Majors started the year 5-0, and then he lost 3 straight to, I believe it was Arkansas, Alabama, and South Carolina. And then he had, I think it was heart surgery. He had some health problems, and Phillip Fulmer stepped in as an interim and won the last 3 regular season games, and then they beat Boston College in a bowl game. So Coach Fulmer beat, as interim, who was it? Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Memphis, and Boston College. And the word goes that Fulmer went up to him and said, "I'm leaving if you don't make me head coach." And that made Coach Majors mad. Now, the whole time, David Cutcliffe was on staff. I think Majors hired him as a part-time coach in the early 80s or something like that. And Tennessee had a powerful offense. And it stayed that way all through the 90s until Cutcliffe went to Ole Miss. And then there was not a steady decline, but there were some bad years in there. Like there was one year the Vols only scored 205 points. And another year they scored under 300. And then in 2005, Vanderbilt beat us. I was there. It was bad. Those Vanderbilt fans were nice about it, though. But our offensive line looked like marshmallows with toothpicks for arms and legs. And then after the game, they were throwing their helmets all over the field. It was pitiful. No discipline. Well, Cutcliffe was fixing to go up to Notre Dame, but he had a heart problem and had to have some stents put in or something. And anyway, in 06 and 07, Cutcliffe came back and everything went back to normal. They even scored 400 and something points in 07, made the SEC championship game, and gave LSU a heck of a game, and they won the national title that year. And then Cutcliffe went to Duke, and the wheels came off again. Now, I've been seeing the memes, about, and they fired me, and it's a picture of Fulmer and everything. And I'm just starting to wonder about Fulmer. That he's got a pattern, and he doesn't seem to be able to win without Cutcliffe. And then I hear, I think I read it on social media or something, that he blocked the Mike Leach hire, which might have been a good hire. I like Mike Leach. I like all his crazy talk and everything like that. But he gets some results out there. I think he could get results here potentially. You never know. So here we are. You know, we've got Jeremy Pruitt, and I want to give him a chance. But then again, rumor has it, he got drunk and called out Mark Richt down at Georgia when he was coaching for them. So I wanting to fight. So I don't know. All I know is it sort of looks like there's a pattern with Phillip Fulmer. It almost looks like he's wanting to get himself installed as coach because he's the AD now and he can do it. And don't get me wrong, Coach Fulmer had a great run. He's a Hall of Fame coach. And I'm not really here to run around bad-mouthing people. I just want the Vols to win. But it's just starting to look as though Phillip Fulmer may not be the catalyst for success that everybody thinks he is. And I know that Johnny and Coach Fulmer don't get along now. It's legendary. I guess they've got a feud that's gone back to when Johnny thinks Fulmer stabbed him in the back in '92. Because allegedly, Fulmer said either I'm leaving if you don't make me coach. And if I leave, you'll be stuck with a sick old man. Whether that really was said, I don't know. But there's some people that think that. And anyway, when it comes to, if Pruitt doesn't work out, I don't know where we're going to go. Because, these coaches, they're a bunch of millionaires. And they talk, and it's political and everything. And Butch, other than losing control of the locker room every year and not seeming to respect the Vanderbilt game and the traditions like that, he did all right. I heard that he wanted some more money to hire another coach his last year, but they weren't going to do that because of the way he blew that 5-0 start. We were Hawaii 5-0 and had Alabama and A&M, and those losses were forgivable. But then he turned around and lost to Vanderbilt and was it Missouri that year? Or Kentucky anyway. Went 8-4, won the bowl game, went 9-4. But we got a good juice machine. So, but Butch, is going to talk. And, I just think a lot of coaches don't want to come here. And I think the next coach is going to have to come from within. And that's another thing. When they fired Fulmer, they should have put in Kippy Brown. It's almost like this whole thing's a bunch of karma. Because Kippy Brown ended up leaving. He got him a ring at the Seahawks, beating Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like there's a lot of karma to go around. And all I want to do is have the Vols win. Now this Saturday, it looks like they should. They're four touchdown favorites against an FCS team, Chattanooga, keeping the money in state. But, hopefully they'll get it on track. But, I know in an earlier video I said, maybe it'd be time to get ugly. I don't want to get ugly. Don't really want to call anybody out. Just want to look at this history, and look at the fan base. This is a fan base that parked a moving van in front of a man's house that was 59-22-2, I think. Biggest problem was he couldn't beat Alabama. Bill Battle. And he was the one before Majors. And he had like 3 10-plus win seasons early on, I think. He's here for 7 years. But went 1-6 against Alabama. So maybe that was it. But I really think that the fans here maybe need to lower their expectations a little bit for the time being. And just let it play out. And let's see what Phillip does. Maybe Pruitt will turn it around. But, if this video is anything like my last one, I'm sure I'll get a lot of people getting hyper aggressive on the keyboard and telling me how I'm wrong or I'm stupid or something. That's fine. Bring it on, man. It's kind of funny, but I just been doing a lot of thinking about this and just tried to bring a little of that history out. And I think that we got a kind of an insatiable fan base a little bit. You know, it's not like the fans up in Ames. You know, I became a Tennessee fan because of what Johnny did with Iowa State. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up a little bit about Iowa State. You know, last year I think it was Uncle Lou was on there saying, you know, he thought Iowa State was going to have a good year, and they actually did have a pretty good year. I was going to make a video saying that's probably not going to happen because, you know, 2 years ago they had the quarterback that switched over to linebacker to help the team, and they had an 8-win season and beat Memphis, I think. And then last year, I guess they made it back to a bowl. I didn't think they'd make it to a bowl last year because Iowa State is a hard place to win continually. They got a really loyal fan base and they show up, but it's a hard place to recruit to. You ever been to Ames, Iowa? It's cold up there. But anyway, I just think that you know, Iowa State's a hard place to win. Matt Campbell's doing a great job. But as far as the Vols go, you know, I'm hoping this week's going to be a win.